America has a vibrant and proud military history, but it is increasingly being lost to history. A 2018 national survey by the Woodrow Wilson Institute found that just 1 in 3 Americans would pass a citizenship test. On military history, forget it. 60% of respondents didn't know which countries the United States fought in World War II. 12% thought World War II General Dwight D. Eisenhower led troops in, wait for it, the Civil War. Heck, 2% thought the Cold War was caused by climate change. And I wish I was kidding, folks. Our next guest is trying to change that one tour at a time. Colonel Keith Nightingale is a decorated Vietnam veteran and author who is an original member of the U.S. Special Operations Command and Joint Special Operations Command. He now leads annual battlefield terrain walks in the Normandy area, the site of America's invasion in 1944. And we welcome Colonel Nightingale to America right now.
Thank you.
Colonel,
pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your service to the country. You conceived, planned and executed the return of the 82nd Airborne to Normandy for the 40th anniversary of D-Day. You now lead these battlefield terrain walks each year. Why is it so important to educate the public and even active duty military about our military history?
Well, I had an extraordinary experience simply because of the timing of the generations. When I took the 82nd back to Normandy on the 40th in 1984, we were actually given the battle tours by the original vets that were there.
Wow.
General Gavin, Colonel Vandervoort, and just dozens of NCOs and PFCs that were at each of these sites, to include both Omaha Beach and Point de Hoc with the Rangers. They gave an extraordinary amount of insight into what actually happened behind the hard facts that you can read today. They told me the human story, a PFC going from here to there. Emerged over time that these were truly ordinary people that did extraordinary things. And it was had a tremendous impression on me. Something I've tried to impart with the active duty soldiers every year. I take them back. We walk the same ground that we walked with the vets, and I try to tell them what actually happened at these locations. And you can see the just complete adjustment that the active duty troops make to that scene. They know something special happened. And my intent is that when these guys are in some dark place in some foreign land, that they'll remember what the vets did there, and they'll do what they need to do. It's extremely rewarding to me to see the active duty troops really get it.
Colonel, you served in the military with great distinction. You were then a key figure in America's pursuit of Mexican drug kingpin Pablo Escobar. You also developed the Army Ranger training program that is used today, and you came up with the snowcap model of training for DEA missions in Latin America. What is your biggest concern if America's knowledge of military history continues to decline the way that it is?
Well, 1% of the nation does the work for 99%. I really think it's important that the general public understand what the military actually does for us all, and that this is not some Praetorian Guard. It's from every aspect of our American population. People that are willing to serve, the sense of service, I think, is the most important thing. We have a tremendous nation, and you just have to go around the world to see how much better we are. And it's because of that 1%. We need to appreciate that. And when it comes to all these various divisive issues we have today, there should be a real unity in terms of what the military means for us and how important it is that allows us to do what we do today.
In your book, A Soldier Looks Back, which I have here, you write of those who faced combat. You said, quote, They have a special quality not found in those who only watch. They bear our burdens and gain a special grace they only realize with time. You know, Colonel, there appears to be a decreasing respect among some in the U.S. for the value of military service, the value of making the ultimate sacrifice that so many have made for America. This is the true meaning of Memorial Day, of course. How do we address that?
I think the only way you can really address it is to look at the people that did that and the people that are doing it now. It's very much of a intuitive thing. You can't preach, you can only see. If you were with the soldiers today out in the woods, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, whomever, you see the really extraordinary people. They're very intelligent, they're very perceptive, they have a deep sense of service. And I think that's the most important thing. You know, you mentioned Zane Schlemmer. He spent his retired years picking up trash on the road. Here's a guy that had 4 combat jumps, and he spends the rest of his retired life walking rural areas, picking up trash, because that's his sense of service to the nation as a whole. Yeah. And that can only be done from, you know, the inner core of each of us. But it's extraordinarily important if we're to have the nation that we want.
Yeah, we need to keep teaching what these soldiers and Marines and airmen, you know, and sailors, what they sacrificed for. Colonel Keith Nightingale, thank you for your insights. We appreciate you being here on this Memorial Day weekend.
Pleasure to be here. Hope to serve.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.